What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Listen, everyone, we're going to do another show tonight. It's going to be audio again because as I'm out of town, I don't have my same usual internet. So I at least want to have a high quality audio instead of a low quality video and mid quality audio. So we're going to talk about what happened today. I can still read all of your comments. We can still interact. You just don't have to bear with looking at me today. And I know some of y'all are happy about that. Big Drip ENT. Yo, I see you in here, man. How is everyone doing? I'm glad that y'all are here tonight. Y'all see the title of the video, Miami Dolphins training camp recap, the truth about Tua Tagovailoa and our offense. We're going to discuss that tonight because we're going to break it down. We'll go ahead and get started by telling y'all I was highly disappointed today in training camp. You know what? Highly disappointed ain't even the right words to use. Man, I was disgusted today at training camp. We're going to talk about everything that happened today. And I want to publicly apologize to all the beat writers. Yes, I want to apologize to all the beat writers. And some of y'all may think what I have to say is like taking shots, but I'm just telling the truth. I'm apologizing because I realize now that it is their job to sell the Miami Dolphins. And anything that doesn't look good, minimize that while telling that it doesn't look good. And anything that looks good, maximize it so that it'll look great. And because that's what we have on full display coming out of Miami. But being at practices firsthand has gotten me to a point where I realize that Miami Dolphin fans just aren't getting the true story of the context of what's really happening in training camp. And it makes me wonder how long has it been this way. But that's what I'm here for. I have come to the realization that as I'm sitting here doing all the things I need to do to get media credentials and headed on the right path, I'm coming to the realization that maybe I don't want them. Because if having them requires for you to report on the team in certain ways with the fear with fear of getting blackballed, not getting the interviews, not getting the questions, then I'm going to do exactly what I've been doing all this time. All right. But anyway, man, let's get started. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened today. I'm going to read through all the tweets and give you all context on what I saw today as we go through the tweets. But today was just horrible. I don't think any fan left feeling optimistic or great about today when they were at practice. It was terrible. And I mean, I'm trying to find the perfect word. It was just unnecessary. Like, it's just my eyes are hurting. I mean, it was bad. It was bad today. All right. But anyway, man, let's dive in. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna give you the context, and I'll let you all decide based off of all the information I provide you all. All right, man. So today we got to camp. Got to be honest with you. Some of the crowd made me feel real special today. As soon as I got there in the stands, heard a few people TD, TD everywhere. I just put my hand up because I don't want to draw too much COVID attention. But it was pretty cool, man. I met quite a few people who subscribed to the channel today. I had a lot of people not sitting right by me because I wanted my own space due to COVID. But several subscribers and people, sitting around where I was sitting. And we had some really good conversations today. And all I'll say is, I think like some of these guys, it was their first day out there. They hadn't come before. They just wanted to come for the padded practice. And I think they really see exactly what I've been seeing. Now, I'm curious, anyone watching right now was at camp today? Was there anyone who was watching right now? Were you at camp today? I'm just curious. Put it in the comment section if anyone watching right now was at camp today. Right? TD a celebrity. No. Let me see. Nobody's responding yet. Well, there got some comments. I was there. Okay, Robert. Robert was there. Anyone else was there? Because I wanna see if I'm on point or not, Robert. All right. Yes, please thumbs up the video, y'all. Did Tua do good today? Anybody who plays on the offensive side of the football did not do good today. Period. See, I know y'all always say I'm hating on Tua, but I'm not even sitting here trying to make anything about Tua. I am telling you, anyone who played on the offensive side of the football, first team especially, second team second, and third team probably was best. But anyway, they were terrible today. Everybody who participates on the offense was terrible today. Okay? Point, period, blank. Ain't no way to sugarcoat it. I don't care what you heard from beat writers or whatever you want to call it. It was terrible. It was embarrassing, and it just dropped. Oh my gosh. Anyway, somebody said terrible. Really? Armando, were you there? If you disagree, let me know. Let me know. If you were there and you disagree, please let me know, Armando. Because if you weren't there, doggone right. Terrible is the right word to use. When you have the entire offense celebrating over a 6-yard run, that shows you how terrible it was. Let me say that again. When you have an entire, not just one group, I'm talking about an entire offense, 3 quarterbacks, 14 wide receivers, 6 running backs, 20, 50 linemen, whatever. When you have the entire offense excited because they finally got 6 yards on a run, enough said. Enough said. Okay? These guys put the pads. Let me say this, man. I've been having a lot of conversations with certain people like EM and stuff, telling them what I've been seeing in camp. And all of the guys that we respect their opinions on the show. All of them continue to remind me, well, just wait till Tuesday. Wait till Tuesday. When the pads come on, that's when it matters. That's when it matters. Wait till Tuesday. Wait till Tuesday. I didn't, nor did they expect for it to be worse. The things that I've been saying that I've had concerns with were worse today. They were worse. Just worse. But big ups to the defense. Big ups to the defense. The defensive line Let me explain something else to y'all with this defense. So Christian Wilkins is not a starter as of right now, just so you know. But a lot of that has to do with Zach Zeiler and Malcolm Butler holding down the front, up front. I am telling y'all now, we run a 3-4 defense. We only got three guys with their hand in the dirt, teeing off. And those three guys are literally creating havoc. And it's allowing our linebackers to have the freedom to read their holes. Those three guys are creating havoc, and our linebackers are able to read their holes, and they are filling them and filling them fast. And not a lot. The run defense is going to be superb this year. I really believe it. I hope it stays like this. And that's a great sign for the team. Because last year, in my opinion, we only had one weakness, two weaknesses on the defensive line. Weakness number one, pass rush without blitz. We did not generate great pass rush without the blitz. And this year, I think we will. Weakness number two was run defense. And I think we have definitely upgraded Bernard McKinney. Should have been all pro linebacker. I hope that's what he turns into this year.
Hello, testing. One moment, y'all. My bad, y'all. Just had to make sure I had my charger and my battery correct. No, I'm good now, y'all. My bad. Back to what I was saying, man. The run defense is going to be superb. There was a lot more man-to-man coverage today when the pads went on. And like I said, anytime we threw that ball, that defense just smothered everything, allowed barely anything. And I told y'all the other day, when that our defense runs a zone, we eat it up. When our defense runs man-to-man, our offense struggles. It just struggles. And we ran in a few throwing plays that we had in real action today. There was a lot of man-to-man, and the defense was eating it up, and our offense couldn't do anything, man. Just nothing. Nothing at all. I've had conversations to tell people that since our offense is so inconsistent, we're going to need our defense to play better than last year, which is a tall task. And when I say better, same secondary, but stop the run. And I think we'll be able to do that. But the problem that I had, and I had a conversation with a few people yesterday before we saw the pads today, I said, if we can establish a run game, then we can deal with the inconsistencies in the pass game. But what I saw today in the run game, we went backwards, ladies and gentlemen. We went backwards. We got worse in the run game. Like, give me something. Now, the same people that's kept on telling me, let's wait on the pads, wait on the pads, wait on the pads. Okay, I waited on the pads and it got worse. And now they're telling me, well, if our defense is that good, you have to look at it that way. Because we're not going to play great defenses all the time like that. And I have to comment to that and talk to y'all because that's a narrative that's going around. I have to say this. That is true. Our defense is so good that if we're doing that to other teams on Sunday, that's a good thing. But at the same token, I still don't like that approach because that's setting us up to make the playoffs and just lose. And I don't care what round it is. I don't even care if it's the AFC Championship. Because when you go up against another great defense, that's where the issue is going to come. We have to stop with these excuses. At the end of the day, our defense looks superior, which I love, and our offense looks like trash. Can I capitalize TRASH? Trash. And a lot of y'all gonna get in your feelings automatically because I called the offense trash. But they played like trash today. It was terrible. Y'all hit the like button. I'm about to start reading the tweets so I can go ahead and get through this because I need to sleep this one off. Let me go ahead and pull the tweets up and I'm going to get started. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. All right. First, before I get started, shout out to the Mod Squad. Love y'all, man. Shout out to the members of the channel. Appreciate y'all so much. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us for quite some time. Shout out to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. I don't know if y'all noticed, but we've gained about 150 subscribers in the last 3 days. And we're literally about 30 subscribers away from 17,000. So congratulations to our TD Fans Talk community. We're doing bigger and better things. And thank all of you for the support. And shout out to all those who are following me on Twitter now. We're at 2,150 and growing. It's just a beautiful thing, man. I appreciate y'all. I've never focused on Twitter, but we're moving numbers now. We got like 400 new people in the last 4 days, and it's just amazing. So go check me out on Twitter if you want the live play-by-play because I'll be right back at camp tomorrow. Also, follow me on Instagram as well. Everything is at TDPHINSTALK. All right. Here we go. Let's get started, y'all. And I'm talking low because I'm kind of trying to preserve my voice. All right. So here we go. First tweet of the day. Let the games begin. And then I put a picture of Tua warming up. Today, the soldiers are fully padded. Wartime, ladies and gentlemen. Greer walking around when he should be clearing it up cap for X. Just kidding. Greer was out there on the field today. Him and Flores. Looks like Byron has his own warm-up routine than the rest of the team. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. The whole team warming up in unison, and Byron's next to him just doing his own warm-up. But hey, to each his own. Everybody got their way of doing things. All right. Flores off to the side, taking in the day. He was just standing by himself at one point. Individual drills have begun. All right. And here we go. The quarterback started out with receivers drills, and I decided today I wouldn't report it because all it is a quarterback dropping back, throwing to receivers on every route with no defense. And all quarterbacks usually are about 90% completions on these. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's get some action. Tua, nice fade to Foster for the touchdown. Next play, Tua, incomplete. One in the middle in tight coverage. Next play, Tua touchdown on another fade. Last play, Tua touchdown in flats. He runs in. So this was the best part of Tua's day. Got to be honest with y'all. The best part of his day was when it started. He threw a touchdown on a fade to Foster. Incomplete in the middle in tight coverage. And then he threw a touchdown on another fade. It was the same way. And then he threw one underneath where the runner ran it in for a touchdown. A little dink play. So he went 4 for 4. He went 4 for 4. No, 3 for 4 on his 7-on-7s against DBs. And I start feeling like, man, I can't wait for them to start hitting and get physical with the 11-on-11s. Because if he's starting out sharp like that, this is going to be an exciting day. Shout out to Dean Brown with the donation. Said, hey, TD, I think the media is hyping Tua up this training camp to boost his trade value. Wow. I actually said that to someone earlier. I have no evidence of that, but I just felt like there's only one explanation. He boosting that value, and they might be in cahoots with the Dolphins because they got the national media now saying Tua's off to a great start. And I don't know if that's the truth. I see improvement, but to say off to a great start, the issue we have is inconsistencies. And our inconsistencies are happening with Tua, Brissett, Sinet. The whole offense is inconsistent. All right. Anyway, let's keep it going. All right. So Tua starts out hot, in my opinion. Now, Brissett, touchdown in the middle, easy. Brissett, next 3 plays, incomplete, not great throws. Brissett's first reps in 7-on-7s, they weren't great throws. He just was making terrible throws, throwing it in dirt, throwing it too far outside. It just didn't look good. Tua looked sharp to start. Brissett didn't. All right, then Tua gets the next turn because now they're starting to phase Sinet out. He still gets reps, but they don't give him as many. All right, here we go. Tua, incomplete. Throw is too high. I remember this. He just sailed it too high. Didn't even give it a receiver a chance. Wide open, by the way. Next play, Tua, touchdown in the middle. Just too easy. And this is all still 7-on-7, guys. Next play, Tua almost picked off. DB couldn't get it. The DB stepped in front of the route, almost picked him off, but couldn't, just jungled the pass, man. And I hate that because our DBs need to come up with more interceptions because it shows why we miss X, because they're making plays, but they can make bigger plays. And that's the difference X does bring to the table. All right. Very next play, Brissett. Next reps, he goes 4 for 4 on touchdowns. Now, they were going so fast, I could not detail Brissett's passes. And I know y'all want to hear about Tua anyway. So I just wrote Brissett next 4 reps, 4 touchdowns. So 4 plays, he scored 4 touchdowns. He just turned it around, looked sharp. Okay. So Tua had a nice first one. Brissett had a terrible first one. Then Tua had an okay second one. And Brissett had an excellent second one. Reps. Okay. Now, moving over to Tua again. Tua overthrows, missed the touchdown. Should have easily had. The next play, Tua, touchdown in the teeth of the defense. I remember this one. He bulleted it in. I think it was Grant, if I'm not mistaken. Grant was like, he went down on his knees, caught it, and it was a tough touchdown, but he got that ball in there. Just one of those quick, pretty little 7-yard throws right in the teeth of the defense in the goal line. All right, next play. Tua overthrows again, same spot. See, yeah, I remember this one. So this time he threw a fade. So I want y'all to imagine this. The outside receiver on the right side of the field runs a slant. Put it like this. He runs an in route. He goes up 5 yards, fakes the step in, but then goes back out towards the pylon. Tua threw the ball, but he threw it past the pylon. Like the guy was like both plays, the receiver was wide open. When I say wide open, he beat his guy with that fake inside by about 3 yards. All you had to do is teardrop it in, and that's easier said than done because I can't do it. But he just missed them. He overthrew it past the pylon, and then he came back and threw a touchdown in the teeth of the defense in the middle of the Grant, that falling down one. Then they went right back to the same play. Fake inside, head towards the pylon, and he did it again. Just sailed it over the head of the wide receiver, another wide open receiver. So on that drive, he's 1 for 3. And then the very next play, Tua almost picked off, tried to thread the needle. This one got juggled. He tried to put it low. A defender got his hand on it. It bobbled up a little, but he couldn't get the pick. So Tua ended up going 1 for 3 on that, and it just didn't look good because he missed 2 beautiful, like those routes were run beautiful on those pylon ones, and he just missed both of them. And the threaded the needle one to Grant was beautiful. It's like he stuck it in there. That's what you got to do. And that last one, he tried to do that Grant situation again and stick it in there, but the defense was just too good on that one, and they broke it up. All right. Now, moving forward, so far, I tweeted this. So far in the first session of throwing touchdowns in the red zone, both Tua and Brissett show inconsistencies. overthrows and underthrows mixed with a few great throws. My issue with this offense is lack of consistency. Many of the plays should have easily been made, but quarterback inconsistency. And that's not about Tua, it's about the quarterback position. Brissett is showing the same thing at times. And that's how I saw everything in the beginning of practice. All right. Now, moving along. Next tweet. By the way, this was all this was all 7-on-7 reps with no linemen. All right. Next up. Tua and Brissett throwing to wide receivers versus DBs one-on-one. Will report tonight. Focused on O-line right now while watching each quarterback play. So at this point right now, they're doing a drill that I haven't seen in camp since I've been going. They've been doing this was a one-on-one receiver versus corner. So Tua will be at the quarterback position. The receiver will be flanked out to the left, and one DB is guarding him. And Tua in the receiver know what he's going to do, and the DB has to cover it. One-on-one, mano-a-mano. Can you guard the man-to-man? And I didn't tweet out each play because I wanted to focus on the O-line because they were on the other side of the field doing work against the D-line. And I was learning some things and I saw it right away. We haven't even started running the ball at this point, and I could just see the D-line, how the three guys were literally imposing their will on the five guys. Now, they weren't pushing them backwards, but they were creating a wall where the O-line could not get penetration and move forward. And I saw it from there. I was just focusing on the O-line and D-line. But as I was focusing on the O-line and D-line, I would look up at every single rep that Tua and Brissett had. It started out at the beginning of all of their reps, especially Tua. Tua and Brissett started out on fire. Tua, like the first 5 plays on one-on-ones, killing them, man. I mean, just running 5 yards, turn around, bam, on time. Running the fade, bam, killing the man. Running the inside, bam, killing them. Tua was just killing them. Brissett started out his first 3, just killing them, killing the defense on one-on-ones. And then things went south. Tua just couldn't complete a pass. We were talking about it, me and the guys that were sitting next to me. And it wasn't so much, I don't want to put it all on Tua, but the DBs just tightened up, man. They start becoming smothering. Every pass that was thrown, it was a DB over the receiver's back, and it was batted down. They just couldn't convert. I mean, Needham was out there batting stuff down. I mean, all these corners were batting everything down except Noah. Noah just keeps getting beat, y'all. Noah just keeps getting beat. And it's so unfortunate because I don't want to say that, but Noah just keeps getting beat. But what I'm trying to get across to y'all is after about 5 plays from Tua and 4 from Brissett, they ran like another 20 of them. And I'm telling y'all, man, I don't know the exact number, but I'm going to guess that they probably completed 4 out of those 20. The DBs just tightened up. I think y'all saw some of them tweeted out by the Dolphins. You saw 2 plays with Nick Needham on Grant and stuff, batting the balls down. That's how tight the coverage was. You saw, y'all let me know if y'all saw that. Put it in the comment section, yes or no, if you saw those highlights that the Dolphins released of Nick Needham breaking up plays. Do you see how tight he was on the play? That's how tight all them DBs started to be. Tua and Brissett couldn't get a single completion. I'm telling you, they had to run about 10 incompletions in a row at one point. They just tightened up in the man-to-man, just batting them down. Like, I mean, and none of them were pass interferences either, just smothering the receiver, the pass thrown, getting their hand on it, breaking them up. And Brissett and Tua just went blank. They couldn't get any completions. But remember, these were one-on-ones, mano-a-mano, one receiver versus one corner. This isn't multiple routes making the right read. This is just mano-a-mano. But they couldn't get anything to move, man. They just couldn't. All right. So that's what was happening over there with them. But I didn't want to report every single play because I couldn't recognize from the far field who the receivers were or the corners in some of the plays to be consistently tweeting to where it would have value. So I just kept looking at that segment of practice, and I said, when I do the show, I'll tell you what happened. But they tightened up on them boys. They start shutting them down. Quarterbacks couldn't do nothing. And the wide receivers wasn't getting any separation. Now, mind you, this is red zone work. The DBs ain't worrying about getting beat deep. They just got to try to smother you, and they playing bump and run at the line of scrimmage. So it made it tough. All right. So, but the O-line, I just wasn't impressed. And we'll talk more about that as we go. But let's keep moving, all right? The next tweet I wrote was time for real action, 11 on 11. First real play. Tua hands off to Gaskins. He fumbles but falls on it. First play, Gaskins through the hole, bam, fumbles at the line of scrimmage. It falls 1 yard forward. He falls on it. The offense gets 1 yard. Next play, run to the right, 2 yards. Next play, false start by the offensive line. And I think it was the tight end. I think it was Smith. Don't quote me on that. But it was a tight end, false start. The very next play, beautiful run up the middle for 20-plus yards, but it was offensive holding. It was offensive holding. Flag came out. Next play, run to the left, 20 yards. Then it was Brissett's turn. It don't matter the turn because they were all runs. Run to the right, loss of 1. Run up the middle, 3 yards. Sinet's turn. Stretch run to the right, good for 8 yards. But this is third team, so why should I care? You see what I mean? We finally get an 8-yard run in his third team. Third team, man. Next play, run to the left, breaks tackles, gets a good gain. Number 29 for about 10 yards. Who is number 29, by the way? He made a really good run. I don't know who number 29 is. I'm still learning these numbers ever since they did all these changes in numbers. But number 29 had a really good run, I thought, for 10 yards. Let me see here. Next play, run up the middle, 1 yard. Next, now it's Tua's turn again. Tua, handoff to the right, maybe 1 yard. Tua, another handoff up the middle, 1 yard. Tua, handoff to the left, no gain. Sorry, people, but our run game sucks right now. That's what I tweeted. Everybody up there in the stands is like, gosh. Like it was on one hand, you had, Jordan Scarlett. Yeah, he made like 2 nice runs. But again, third team. But everybody in the stands are like, man, this is tough. But good job, defense. All right. Brissett, hands off to the right, 4 yards. This D-line is forcing everything outside. Yes, the running backs want to go in the middle. They got to bounce outside. Then they don't see any holes to go through. I'm telling you, a lot of these plays, they end up deep outside, and it was still behind the line of scrimmage. Brissett, handoff up the middle, another no gain. Brissett, run to the right, 2 yards. Noah is being yelled at by Flores. More on that tonight. Wow. Okay, so the running game is over. They just stopped 11 on 11s. Boom. They ended that segment, and now they're going back to individual drills. But this time they're pairing up the drills. So this time it's receivers versus DBs at the bottom right of the field. And what happens is a receiver has his back to the defense. The trainer blows the whistle, and the receiver turns around with the ball in his hand, and he got to go 20 yards to get the touchdown, but he got 2 defenders in front of him at 2 different angles. So it's just like a shaking drill for the receivers. Like, how can you make a move to get extra yards? And for the DBs, how can you stop them where they need to be stopped? So, what number was it? Number 87 put a move on Noah and kind of shook him, and then it got a little physical. and he kind of like, in my opinion, drug Noah to the end zone. And Noah got a little extra chippy, like bumping him a little and up in his face. And I remember 87 was like cool about it, like it's all good, like tapped his helmet, but Needham did. Why am I saying Needham? Noah did a little extra bump after that, and I just see Flores coming out of nowhere. You could tell he yelling and cussing, just and putting his finger out at Noah and basically fussing at him, man, because Noah was just getting extra. He was getting extra about it because he wasn't happy with the outcome, in my opinion. Noah's struggling. Everyone knows it. All right. The next play, and I was just watching these. These were drills that you don't need to report, but I tweeted it because that was worth mentioning. And then, like a few reps later, about 8 reps later, when it was Noah's turn again, he had to deal with Waddle as the receiver this time. And Waddle puts the brakes on Noah during drills, is what I tweeted. Man, Waddle had that ball. When that coach blew that whistle, Waddle turned around. He saw them 2 defenders. Waddle faked his foot in the ground to the left. I don't know how he did it, but he just split both of the defenders. None of them even, I mean, the defenders were like 4 feet apart. All they had to do is both reach their hand forward, and they would touch each other's hand, and Waddle coming through that hole, they would be able to stop him. I don't know how he did it. This kid just put his foot in the dirt and did a move so fast and split the defenders and moonwalked into the and he didn't moonwalk in. I'm exaggerating now, but it just easily went into the end zone, and the crowd was like, ooh. And I don't know who the other defender was. I just know number 9, Noah, was one of them. And unfortunately, that's a little biased to me not to know the other one because they deserve some of the blame too. But I noticed Noah, and Waddle just made him look bad. The crowd going, ooh. I mean, at that point, I know he was probably feeling bad deep down inside. Like, man, I'm just not doing good right now in the league. But the kid is young. We're just gonna hope that he grows. All right. But I started understanding we need X. Hopefully they can work that situation out because Nick Needham is probably going to be in the slot. Nick Needham's playing some great football. So I don't know how they're going to mix this up, but we'll see. All right. All right. What else do we got? Let's keep going. Water break. All right. Now, split field action, 11 on 11. I love these. This is where you got 2 fields going. Tua on one side, Brissett on the other. Yesterday, Tua was 11 on 11 and Brissett was 7 on 7 to start out, and they would swap fields. But today, it was full out 11 on 11 on both sides. So I love that. All right. First play, Tua hands off to Gaskins, 1, maybe 2 yards. Brissett, now, they were both playing at the same time, so you're going to see me back and forth with their names, okay? Simultaneously sometimes. I got to watch both plays. All right. So Tua gets maybe 1 or 2 yards on the Gaskins handoff. Brissett hands off up the middle for 2 yards. Tua hands up the middle for 1 yard. Tua play action rolls out, 1 yard reception. I ain't gonna lie, this one made me mad. All this running we doing, and you finally run a play where you fake the handoff, you roll out, and it still ends up being a negative 1 yard catch, but he runs up 2 yards, so it's a 1 yard gain. All of that, and Tua had to end up juking the defensive end just to get it further outside. All that risk for 1 yard. You can't run the ball. Then when you play action, you're getting 1 yard. And not Tua, but our offense. Okay? All right, let's keep it moving. Next play, Tua hands off up the middle for 5 yards. Brissett hands off 2 yards. Sinnett hands off. So Sinnett's getting reps now. He gets 4 yards on a handoff. Sinnett handoff, no gain. More handoffs by Tua, about 3 for no gain. Because I just started watching the handoff, and he had 3 in a row where none of them got a single yard. And it ain't his fault. It wasn't nothing to check out of because they're doing run plays. Okay. Next play, Tua, quick 2 yard swing pass. The wide receiver rips up the sideline for a big gain. Wait, offensive flag, bring it back. So this was one where we were in the zone. Let me tell you what. Here's what I'm seeing in practice. Tua's making this pass all day. We're running the zone, and the flats are wide open in the zone. And we keep hitting the flats and seeing what the tight end or the receiver can do after they catch it. This one, it was a 2-yard catch, and he ripped it up the sideline for like another 20 yards, if you ask me. But it was an offensive flag that brought it back anyway. Next play, Tua hands off to Gaskins, maybe 1 yard. Nor returning kicks with Waddle and Grant. There is a thunderstorm not too far away, hoping it stays east. I got to see the throwing session of 11 on 11s and pads. Saw all I needed to see from the run game. So I think y'all get a good gist of what I'm talking about with the run game so far. It's been trash. Just very terrible, man. All right, let's keep it going. Back to work. My favorite open field 11 on 11 throwing. But what did they do? Tua, handoff up the middle, 1 yard. Brissett, handoff, 6-yard run. Brissett and Tua hands off for no gain. Tua, QB rollout. Tua runs for 5 yards. Another one of those. Fakes the handoff, rolls out, looking for someone, and just ends up. I thought he ran out of bounds, but he flinged it right before he stepped out of bounds. No. He didn't fling it. He actually turned it up right before he stepped out of bounds and went up the side for like 5 yards, and 2 defenders touched him. And they're not going to tackle to him. But I don't like doing that in practice, because why are you absorbing that hit just for the 5 yards? Get 3 yards and run out of bounds. No need for you to stay in and get 5 and get touched by 2 defenders, because in real life, that's a tackle. We need you healthy. And yeah, that was another one. The beat writers say Tua roll left. He got stopped, but I don't know if he would have beat those guys for the big game. No, it wasn't no way he was beating both of them. They were sandwiching him. Anyway, next up, Brissett, nice throw, 10-yard out. Okay, so they're starting to get some throws in. And Brissett hit his guy on a 10-yard out of bounds. It wasn't out of bounds. He caught it, then went out of bounds. And that was a beautiful throw, especially since we were missing a lot of throws in that man-to-man session. All right, next play. Tua hands off, no gain. Brissett, handoff, 2 yards. Brissett, nice slant. Tua, nice slant. Both go for about 7 yards. They literally on different fields did the same play at the same time. Both of them connected with their guy on a nice slant. All right. Tua hands off, and Brissett does as well. Both of those handoffs go nowhere. Next play, Brissett hands off, tackle for loss, -5 yards. Sam McGuavin shows up. He got in that backfield, -5 yard run. This was a beautiful tackle for loss. We had a Sam Iguavin, however you pronounce it, a sighting. That was a good sight to see. Next play, Tua, handoff to Gaskins. Nice run for about 8. And Brissett, hands off up the middle, 1 yard. Tua, handoff, no gain. Brissett, throws right, should be pass interference, but no refs on the field. Yeah, the main field with Tua had like 5 refs, and the one with Brissett had 1 ref, and they were all the way on the other side just checking the line of scrimmage. And on this play, Brissett, I thought it was an ugly throw by Brissett anyway, but the DB did kind of like hold the receiver so he couldn't get out to it to try to make a chance on it. So it was incomplete, but no PI was called. I would have called the PI on that. All right, next play. Tua rolls left, nowhere to go, throws away as he runs out of bounds. Yes, and finally he threw the ball away when he needed to. This was another play action. He rolled out, and he's looking, nothing there. He just throws it out of bounds. So they just couldn't get anything going, even in the few throws that they had, y'all. All right, let's keep it going. Brissett rolls right, throws in tight coverage, almost picked off. Tua, same play, opposite direction. No one open, another throwaway. This is the one that I like from Tua because Brissett on one side, see, they ran the same play simultaneously. Brissett on one side tried to force it in, and it was almost picked off. Tua had the same look from the defense. Nothing was open and he threw it away again. Although it's two throwaways, I'm glad he didn't try to force that one and get an interception because Brissett almost did. The DB just dropped it. All right. Next play. Tua backed into the end zone. Offensive false start. So now they got the offense starting at the 1 yard line, having to go 99 yards. And Tua's in the end zone. And that's how the offense is running. They're basically putting them in a tough situation, and they're working on how are we going to get out of this end zone situation if we're ever put into it. So the very first play, we got an offensive false start. Luckily, the ball doesn't really move. The penalty is like a waste because they're already backed up to like the half-yard line. All right. Next play, Tua hands off. Almost a safety, barely makes it outside the end zone. These guys were hitting the running backs in the end zone, but they were falling forward to avoid the safety. All right. Next play, Tua, 5-yard pass and 5 yards yards after the catch to get out of the end zone. Greatly needed. All right. Next play, Tua safety, holding the ball too long in the end zone. I didn't like this one at all. Because I'm sitting there screaming inside, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. Oh, my gosh. Tua hikes the ball. He's back to pass in the end zone. He's looking left, looking left, looking left. Looks right, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. 3 defenders are surrounding him, but they don't touch him because they don't want to touch the red jersey. And he takes the sack, and he just puts his head down like, oh, they got me. They could have gotten you 3 seconds before that. Throw the ball away. And it made me, here's why it made me mad. In the end zone, it's 10 times more critical because you give up points and the ball. And in the open field, it's just a sack. In worst case scenario, you punt. But the reason why I have a problem with it, because all camp so far, since I've been there, they've been allowing Brissett and Tua to hold the ball more than 5 seconds without throwing the whistle. They just been allowing them to. And then when a defensive lineman puts his hand up like I got a sack, he throw it and make a completion, and everybody thinks it's a great play. And the beat writers get the Twitter fingers. Oh, Tua just with a nice slant 7 seconds after the play started. And if you're going to let him do it there, I'm not surprised he's in the end zone doing it as well. There needs to be somebody out there after 5 seconds blowing that whistle profusely. That ball should have been gone out of your hand. And that's what's frustrating to me, man, because I don't want to see these issues happen where he takes sacks just by holding the ball too long because we practicing behaviors are allowing this. And that's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. Our practices are allowing it. The ones where the pocket is just beautiful, I don't say anything because the O-line gave him the protection. But the ones when the defensive linemen are just surrounding him and he's still holding it, blow that whistle. He needs to get rid of the ball. The only time I see Tua throwing the ball away is on rollouts when he's going towards the sideline and no one's there. And that has to start. They got to do this. They got to do better, man. They got to do better. I don't like that mess, man. Let's keep it going. Let's see here. Brissett, handoff, almost a safety. Half-yard line now. Brissett throws slant. DB breaks it up. Ball flies in the air, almost picked, but safety missed it by inches. Yeah, this was one. I remember this one. He threw the slant. The DB was covering it so well that he batted it in the air, and the safety came up and dove for it, and it went off his fingertips, almost picked off. Whole crowd was like, oh. Next play, wow. Brissett throws the goal And coverage is exceptional, but number 8 goes up in Moss's 35-yard gain. See, this is where we finally got some decent like action. Nobody open. Brissett throws the go route anyway and places it high for a 50-50 ball. DB's in perfect position, but whoever number 8 is goes up and put the moss on them, just snatches it out the air, and we get 35 yards. And sometimes you got to take that shot. Sometimes you got to take that shot, especially if you got one-on-one. Because outside of that, it was tight. Somebody said Allen Hurns, appreciate it, because I do not know their numbers right now. I'll wait till the official ones when the season start. But Allen Hurns went up and got that one. It was a thing of beauty. The pass wasn't even impressive to me. It was just like a float up in the air. Now, an impressive pass, wait, I read Sinets, and y'all know I don't cover him, but that was a beautiful pass he threw. But we'll get there, all right? All right, next tweet. Offense celebrating a 6-yard run. That should tell you everything you need to know about the run game, and that was a Sinet handoff, third team. So Sinet gets in, he hands it off, they run for 6 yards, and the whole offense is going crazy, excited. I was like, anyway, man, they were excited about a 6-yard run. Next play. Sinet completes a sit down in the zone for 7 yards. Next play, Sinet, beautiful pass to number 83 down the sideline for 40 yards. Wide receiver burns his man. Whoever number 83 is, and I think it's Kurt Merritt, he burnt his man. I saw it. Sinet looked right. I looked down. I saw Kirk Merritt had about 4 steps on his man. Sinet sent a beautiful spiral down the sideline. Kirk Merritt, bam, got it and got tackled right away. But it was a 40-yard gain. I think it's Merritt, unless y'all tell me otherwise. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it was a beautiful pass because it was him and Brissett, the 2 long throws. Those were the longest passes of the day. Outside of that, I didn't see a single pass thrown past 10 yards today. Okay. All right. Now they're going to the goal line run from the 2-yard line. So now they're doing goal line work. It's first and goal from the 2-yard line. Who can punch it in? Who can run a play and punch it in? And I think the quarterbacks have full autonomy in this where they can make the decision, even if they wanted to audible out of it. And I'm going to explain why. So first and goal for Tua at the 2-yard line. He hands it off and they get 1 yard. Second and goal from the 1-yard line. Tua hands it off from the 1, no gain. Third and goal from the 1-yard line. Tua hands off from the 1, no gain. 3 and out from the 1. We just could not get it in, y'all. And that defensive line was just building a wall. Just couldn't get it in, man. All right, Brissett's turn. Brissett, handoff from the 1, no gain. Brissett, play action, wide open, tight end for the touchdown. He got him on that. The defense was a little salty, I must admit. This is when they start getting chippy because the defense, when they made plays on Tua, like his handoffs, the first rep, they was all up in the offense's face. And when Brissett came out there, that first run that went for no gain, the defense was just going crazy. And then Brissett hit him with that play action and hit the tight end for the touchdown. Because I saw the defensive end, like he was coming in for the run. He saw the tight end and trying to change direction. He slipped. But Brissett made him pay. And the offense went crazy. They all up in the defense face like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, they got a little war going on now. So the next play, Brissett hands off. The running back tackles right away, but second effort dives in for the touchdown. Offense goes crazy again. So on this play, Brissett handed it off, and I don't know who. Y'all tell me, man. It was a man. I don't know who this was. It was like a linebacker. All I know is he hit that hole and he hit that running back so hard, but the running back somehow on his way to the ground pushed his legs forward and just got to the goal line for the touchdown. But I ain't gonna lie, it was beautiful defense. It's just he got that second little effort to get in. But the offense talking more trash to the defense up in their face, like, yeah. So I'm like, man, they are really at it. And right at that moment, Flores called practice and said, that's all, folks. That was your practice today. Y'all let me know in the comment section what you think. I want to know what you think. What do you think when you hear everything that happened in camp today? How would you sum it up? How would you sum it up? I want your thoughts. There was no bias commentary, just my true thoughts of what I thought. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, our offense is just inconsistent. And then with today's running game with the pads on, our offense is a concern now for this team. Shout out to Pete, said, this is what we love to hear, TD. All the little things matter, good or bad. Let's go, TD. Give it to us raw and uncut. Love it. What you think of the practice today? The Dolphins are in trouble if this continues. They're still early in camp. They got a lot of work to put in. But our offensive line, and let me tell you a little thing that nobody reported today. When they ended practice, whole bunch of players were going to the left into the facilities for their lockers. Some players were going to another, like the media. Other players were headed to another door to get out of there. Guess who went inside the practice field? There was about 15 guys who went inside the practice facilities in the practice field inside. And they had to do sprints. I could see them all the way across the field inside that building doing sprints. The O-line. They were terrible, and they paid for it at the practice. Coach had them doing sprints. I saw them in there when everybody was emptying out of the stands. I looked across, and I saw them inside that building going back and forth on that field doing sprints. Doing sprints. TD, stop, bro. It's the first practice with pads. Chill, bro. I don't know why y'all say stuff like that to me. Why do some of y'all say stuff like that? Stop, bro. It's the first practice. Stop, bro. It's the first this. Stop, bro. It's early in this. And then when we get to week 8 and they're doing the same thing, like, why do y'all say stuff like that to me? It does, for the record, ladies and gentlemen, it does not matter what practice it is, what year a player is. I am reporting what I see at this very moment. And you will continue to get what I see this very moment, because if they improve tomorrow, you'll be able to understand, man, they started here, now they're here. Great job. But how will you ever appreciate growth if you never realize where they came from? Like, some of y'all don't want to hear where someone came from. You just want to hear the finished product. And then if the finished product is trash, you're scratching your head wondering, how did it ever get to this way? But you would shut someone from telling you how. Y'all got to stop that. Stop that. TD, a true fan, is optimistic. Oh, I'm going to be optimistic. Don't worry. The optimism is going to come next week. I'm going to be very optimistic about this team. But I am going to tell y'all and recognize where we struggle, because I need to make sure we focus on, are we getting better in those areas? And you know what? That whole optimism thing, I'm going to be optimistic for this team. But at the same token, how many times do y'all want to get burnt? How many times you want them to tell you things are looking great and then we go out there and we lose the first 5 games? How many times y'all want to go through that? How many times you want to be lied to and believe it? Some of y'all addicted to it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 2 times, can't put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, or do like President Bush. You know what I mean. But gosh, man, like some of y'all just live for the Dolphins to just disappoint you. Like maybe that's the game now. Man, we're going to I hope we think we go to the Super Bowl and they crash on us. It'll just going to be so amazing. You know why? Because when I'm hurt so much and then they bring me back to believing again, there's no better feeling in the world. Well, have you ever tried the feeling of just being a winners? Have you ever been in a situation where you felt what it felt like to win? Not just win a few games, but win it all. Do you know what that feeling feels like to win it all, where your favorite team wins it all? I read an article one time. Do you know that most sports fans have never enjoyed the feeling of winning it all with their favorite team? And that's the problem. You don't know what feeling to crave because you never felt it. That's why we need that first one, man. We need that Super Bowl in our time. All the people who weren't here in 72, we need that one so that we can get used to knowing what we are searching for. TD, you are depressing. Hey, man, the Dolphins did it to us, man. They owe us. At what point do we say that this team owe us? They owe us. Look at all of us. We got over 400 people watching right now, and I am pretty confident at least 350 of us are real, true, loyal fans. I want to say all of us, but that just ain't true. Some of y'all 2 in the ears. But we're loyal to the team. They owe us, man. They owe us a good product on the field. That's just the truth. And when are we going to ever demand that? So when I see the things, I say, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. If we look like trash tomorrow, I need to come on here tomorrow night and be like, man, I'm going to tell y'all, man, listen, man, Tua look like Tom Brady. That O-line, even though they couldn't get no run game going, they look beautiful. I'm telling y'all, them running backs look fast, even though they were going for negative yards. They look fast. It's about to happen, y'all. Super Bowl on the way. I know the DBs was breaking up a lot of the passes and the wide receivers weren't getting separation, but man, they look like they running smooth routes. That's what y'all want TD to come out here and do? Is that what y'all asking for? All you got to do is say yes in the comment section. If that's what you asking for, too bad. You still ain't getting it. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. You lie to yourself, you lie to whoever. Shout out to Sarah. Kyle with the donation said, you have to remember, TD, these are public practices. They are still entertaining the crowd. Ooh, I can't wait to respond to this one. So some things are going to slide just for show. When the private practices happen, I'm sure they check him. They check him for holding the ball too long. Well, nobody's asking them to check him publicly, but this needs to be discussed. I don't think there's an issue. I get what you're saying as far as these are public practices when it comes to checking people. But at the same token, let me tell you why I'm not going to give you that one. Flores didn't mind checking what's your Noah monogamy today in front of the world. Flores didn't mind yelling at Josh Rosen on the field saying, pick your explicitive head up. So I can't give you that because they don't mind checking people on the field. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure there's anything to check because at the same token, they're just running these plays. And when I say check, they just need to make sure he's aware that he needs to stop doing it. What I will tell you, coaches are not all up into these practices. When a quarterback's back to pass and he throws or he does something boneheaded, there's nobody there. Hey, man, you got to do this. Make sure you don't do that. No, they're letting them do rep after rep after rep. There ain't no coaching mid reps. Soon as they blow that whistle and they go to individuals, they might sit down, take a knee, and talk to the position coaches at that time, which they are doing. But during the reps, ain't no coaching happening during the reps. They're running the reps. Quarterback in the huddle, giving the play, they breaking, they coming out, they bam. Quarterback back to the huddle, they're running the reps. So there is no like immediate coaching like that. That's not how they're running it, at least. I don't see that. I don't see that one bit. All right. But I wanted to also elaborate on that because somebody told me yesterday, TD, you have to understand they're not trying to show everything in practice. You know, when they stop doing practice with the public, they're going to switch everything up and open all the real plays. It's just not true. It's just not true, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they got specific wrinkles they're not going to show to the main public and things like that. But what they're running right now is a good set of what they're going to be trying to run. People don't know that. There are just a handful of plays they'll add into a game plan, to game plan against a specific team. But all of these plays are their plays. That's why there's extra emphasis on do not record. And they got people walking up and down, even if you're taking a picture. Hey, are you recording? Like being sticklers. I'm telling you. In all of them stands, they got like 15 people walking around and just staring at you the whole time, anytime they see a phone. It's a reason why. These are their plays. And yeah, there are more. And they'll open those up. But this isn't them hiding plays. They're trying to run their sets in certain things. They're not just putting on a show for the fans because guess what? The practices are open to the general public almost into the third preseason. All through the Bears. They'll be practicing up in Chicago, but that's open to the public. You come back to Miami, and the Atlanta practices are open to the public. Then they got a few after that are open. And then what? They got a few days after that to prepare for the game? No, these are their plays. They don't go a full summer, a whole month showing the fans plays, and then all of a sudden in a week, here's all the real plays. That's not how it works. Yes, they have some plays that they're not going to put out there. Anyway, man, let me sum it all up for y'all pretty much, okay? The offense is concerning because we need a good run game. I personally don't trust Tua Tagovailoa throwing the ball more than 30 times a game. I want to see him between the 22 to 25 times a game mark. That's just where I'm at in comfortability. In the event that he does have to throw the ball a lot more, I could see us punting the ball a lot because the same issue as last year. I don't care if his arm improved or his physicality and his body looks better. None of that matters if all the coverage is tight and he doesn't throw the ball. He's not going to turn the ball over much. But none of it matters, and we're going to punt a lot if nobody's wide open and he doesn't throw a ball to a guy who might be able to make a play or take the shot in that very tight window. You see him throwing some of them right now, but truth be told, what I'm seeing on the field, he is holding that ball and he is not taking those shots. Because here's the deal. Y'all remember that slant that I forgot who it was. They caught it over Byron Jones that they put all over Dolphin Twitter as a highlight. That's what's happening all over the field. Byron Jones was tight coverage on that play. And he threaded the needle and it was a beautiful pass. But that's what's happening all day, every day. The defender is right on the back of the receiver, but he's not throwing it. He's picking and choosing when to throw it, and he's not throwing it consistently. So in real game action, he's going to need to let that ball fly more consistently. He's going to have to throw that same play over and over and over again in that tight window. You've shown you can do it. Now do it consistently. Don't say I'm going to do it this time and then hold it the next 5 times and then say I'm going to do it this time and then hold it the next 5 times. That's the issue. Now, my bigger issue with the whole offense, honestly, is, all right, here's the 2 issues you got in the offense. Here, and these are the only issues, ladies and gentlemen. Wide receiver separation. Unless it's a zone, everybody's running free in it and everybody's eating. We don't have an issue versus the zone. But in man-to-man, we're having an issue with wide receiver separation. And number 2, run blocking by the O-line. Pass protection by the O-line has actually been much better than last year. But the sad thing is you get better pass protection, but yet nobody's getting separation. Those are your 2 issues with the offense. Receiver separation in non-zone plays, by the way, because I know y'all seeing all these highlights with people catching the ball running free, zone, and run blocking by the O-line, because I am actually impressed with their pass protection. But then again, we aren't blitzing much in practice either. But just the general pass protection, it has been very solid. Very solid. So those are the top issues for the offense. I'm not putting anything on the running backs. I don't think they really have an issue other than just getting the opportunity to have a hole that they can hit. And I'm not putting it on the quarterbacks either. They have been inconsistent, but at the same token, many teams have much better separation and get better opportunities in man-to-man. I know everybody's been raving about the completions that we have gotten, but most of those are in the zone, ladies and gentlemen. I'm evaluating this man-to-man coverage that some teams are going to throw at Tua because they want to make it difficult and make him make difficult decisions. So I don't put it on the quarterbacks, even though even in tough coverage, you still got to be able to stick it in there sometimes and stop holding on to the ball too long and start making consistent throws instead of a few and then missing a few and a few and missing in a few. But the real issues in the offense right now is receiver separation and run game, offensive line, run lanes. As far as the defense, the concern I have is running zone, by the way. We've gotten carved up in the zone because Tua and Brissett is taking advantage of all the sit downs and all the crossing routes, just finding the windows. And they're making it look easy. And also the short sideline passes, and the receiver just runs up the sideline because of the zone that we're running. And the last thing with the defense that I'm concerned about is corner. Excuse me. Cornerback. Without Xavier Howard out there, we're getting inconsistent play. You get a lot of pass breakups, but then you get beat sometimes because, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. Even when we run the zone, a lot of these plays, the corners on the outside are still with the man. Like if they run a go route, the corners are still following it. I'm talking about most of the zone work is happening in the interior and the linebackers. They've been playing a lot of zone coverage, but the outside corners have been like, and it's still zone. It's just that they take their man and they have that whole stretch on that side to deal with. And that's why that underneath route is always open, because a receiver takes the corner a little mid deep, and then the tight end flanks out to the flat, and the zone is allowing it to be wide open. So those are the issues we have right now. And before I get out of here, I want to be on the positive side and talk about what we need to do to make it better. I think it starts out with being a little more critical on quarterbacks holding the ball too long. Give them that internal clock, and blow it every time. Make it gruesome in practice. Also, I don't know how we can fix the run game with the O-line. That's the issue I'm having too. I can't really sit here and tangibly say this is what they need to do on the O-line. And again, maybe I just need to see them go up against a sorrier D-line. But is that's like a cop-out to me. That's why I tell people, when you say, well, this D-line is great, you have to remember that. So what? I'm supposed to grade them off of a trash O-line and take that as that's what our O-line is? You want to grade someone versus the best, right? Don't you want to grade them versus our D-line? Because if you can run against our D-line and our linebackers, then you got something to be proud of. But I'm not buying this whole notion of our D-line is like top 5 though, TD, our defense. So, you can't really gauge it that way. Why? What are you talking about? That's the only way to gauge it. Against a top defense. That's the only way you know how good or bad you are. Iron sharpens iron, y'all. We gotta stop with these just pitiful excuses. We want to make everything smell good or look good. Well, if they play a sorry team, they might not be that bad. What is the point? What are you trying to say? By the way, a few key notes, man. Eichenberg's been playing guard. It looks like he might end up owning the position and starting there, y'all. Eichenberg might actually be a guard in the first year, just like we had Tunsil in that guard. And that ain't such a bad thing. Nick Needham is shining in practice. Kirk Merritt and Foster are looking really, really good. Who else did I have as a standout? I already told y'all about Christian Wilkins. Look like he's running with the second team defense. Yes, hit that like button. Somebody said I just pulled to drop my dislike. Peace. Appreciate you, Keone Gaskin. Thank you so much. That's what we needed. How about Dokes? I can't comment on a running back. We ain't even getting the opportunity to do nothing. Doug said, do you think the cornerback shining today because Parker, Williams, and Fuller and Gesicki weren't out there? Do you think that is also why the offense struggled? Nah, I can't even say that, Doug. I know we a lot of times love to talk about, Will Parker. Parker was there yesterday and they kind of shut it down. Preston Williams, we ain't seen him on the field yet. And on top of that, remember, you see, when you start with Parker and Preston, these are your 50-50 guys. And yeah, Parker can run, routes and all of that, do all that good stuff too. But their specialty is more 50-50 guys. Jaceki, same thing. Fuller is the one that I want to see on the field to see how he impacts the game. But y'all have to understand, you got Kirk Merritt out here playing great football. You got Foster out here playing great football. And you got Waddle out here playing great football. And I got to be honest with you, regardless of the other guys out, these guys, you've heard their name all through camp making big plays. They're out there giving it what they got. And I don't see Parker and those guys doing that much better versus this coverage. Now, remember, you also have to understand something. When we talk about the DBs, today they ran a lot of man-to-man. And I just think we got a group of fast guys who get gritty and physical. They're not perfect. And by the way, let's think about this too. Most of the DBs that were playing today, they're not even going to be on the field. Like, ladies and gentlemen, do you realize that Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, and Nick Needham are going to be the guys that are on the field? So we're running a whole bunch of DBs in these reps too, because believe it or not, Byron is rotating his reps. I don't even think he's giving a full shake out there playing every play. And Nick Needham rotating his as well with Noah and everybody else. So at the same token, you also, and X ain't even playing. X is not even playing. So we don't even have a full set of the secondary as well. What's your thoughts on Coleman? I heard he might lock down slot if X isn't there. That's a debatable one. And I'm assuming you're thinking, like, who do you have on the outside? Needham? See, it just depends because I've been seeing Needham move around. He's been playing in and out on some plays. How is Griffin looking? I'll say this. I haven't really noticed them much, but when I do notice them, I've seen him set the edge very well a few times. And when they do their warm-up drill, walkthrough drills, like running through plays with their position group alone, he's very active and involved. So I think they're liking what they see. Doug said Needham, yeah. So if Needham's on the outside, I'll give you that. You're probably, that's exactly what your lineup is probably going to be, Coleman. That's exactly what but that's another thing. He's played some good football too, though, Doug Coleman. And that's why I'm saying to you, it's like, even though we don't have Parker and all that, the DBs, some of our starters ain't even really in their role. And on top of it, these guys are just stepping up. I'll say this, that DB coach is doing a great job over there. They're doing a great job. Our punter's doing a hell of a job. He's booting everything inside. Jason Sanders, money as usual. Oh man. That's about it right now. I'm also hearing McCourty has been the starting safety opposite row. How's he looking out there? Sorry for all the questions. You're my eyes. I'll say this, bro. I have no idea how the safety's looking. You know why? Because they ain't never threatened. I mean, I don't pay no attention to them because it's never coming their way. And I ain't gonna say never. It barely comes their way. Only time the safety is involved is when they finally throw a deep in route for like 15 yards and they get behind the teeth of the linebackers and the safety come up and make the tackle. So I haven't even noticed the safety's game much because I don't want to say chilling back there, but they're also providing great coverage to the. Put it like this: anytime you got Tua throwing the ball away all the time or pass breakups all the time, just can't find a comfortable place to go, then that just tells you the safeties are where they need to be. It tells you they are where they need to be. That's my thoughts on it. But you know what? Tomorrow I'll give it an extra look. But I just hope I ain't doing what I think I'm going to do, just be wasting my time looking at them, be uninvolved in the play because it's a whole bunch of dump offs and quick slants or middle of the zone for 5 yards. So we shall see. All right. Anyway, man, I'm finna get up out of here. TD has the punt return. What is the punt return looking like? Like nothing, because every time they punt, it's a walkthrough. They're not really doing any like trying to get them or trying to make a beautiful move. It's just all show. They punting. It's really for punt, making sure you line up in the right place and you're attacking the ball without really attacking it. All right. I'm finna go to bed. I'm tired. I'll be honest with y'all. Training camp is actually wearing me out. It's keeping it 1,000, but I love it because I'm doing it for y'all. And I'm gonna keep on bringing y'all the real coverage and what's really going on. I don't trust these beat writers no more, and I feel bad about that because I wonder what they're gonna report out of Chicago for the people that does go. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it's a piece of me that made me want to get just buy a ticket to Chicago because I'm actually enjoying getting the truth about what's really going on and reporting it to y'all. But it is what it is. You need to stay in Miami for a night. Oh no! Don't get me wrong. I'm not going back and forth anymore. That was just Saturday. When I came down on Saturday, I went back up to where I live, and then I came back Monday morning at 3 a.m. And I'm staying here for 4 days, and I'm 2 days in. So I've been here since 7 a.m. Monday morning, and I'm here at my mom's house in South Florida. And I'll be here until Thursday night because I need to drive back up home and pick my wife up from the airport. And then my son starts school on Monday, so we're going to finish some last minute things, getting him ready over the weekend. So yeah, and then I have to decide if I want to come back down for the Atlanta practices or not. COVID number spiking, so I don't know. I might start sitting down a little bit, but it just depends. But anyway, I'm going to get me some sleep, y'all. Love y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. Thank you to everybody who was at training camp shouting me out and showing me love. Love y'all too, man. We're gonna see. I know the team will get better. That's one thing that is true. When you think of it and you put it into perspective, they've only had a week of practice. They started on the 27th and didn't even really do work. So the 28th, 29th, 30th, 1st. I know they skipped the day 3rd. I mean, they've had 5 or 6 practices. We're early in this process, so I look for some things to get a lot better. Only thing I don't like is the run game is really far away. Oh, my wife in here, she said, "You are truly dedicated." Wow, thank you, baby. She told me that earlier today. You know what? I was thinking about what you were doing, and you were really dedicated. You came all the way down here to spend a few days and drug your whole family with you just so you can get this coverage and give it to people. And she told me she was proud of me, so it made me feel good. Love you, baby. I'll see you in a little bit, by the way. And yes, baby, that's a good response down there by 4 P's equal payoffs. He said, "Hey, Hillary Michelle, thanks for holding it down for TD." Yes, thank you, baby, because without you holding it down, I wouldn't be able to do this. All right. 4 hours of sleep a night and you're still going strong. Proud of you. Yeah, well, I'm going to try to get me 6 tonight. Hopefully I can, because I still got to go shower and stuff. So I'll be sleeping about an hour. So I give me 5.5 tonight, hopefully. All right. Try to get up at 6. But anyway, I'm out of here, y'all. Love y'all. Peace, peace, peace. God bless. See you tomorrow. Bye.